Hello guys, Sergio here, and in the following video I want to talk about a very interesting character. Talking about Tristan Tate, which is the brother of Andrew Tate. I wanted to make this video some sort of like a second part of the first one about when I talk about the 5 lessons that Andrew Tate gave me. I want to know focus on his brother. His brother Tristan is the lesser known brother of Andrew Tate. However, he's always behind him. He's always by his brother's side, even in good places and in bad places, like in jail when they went to jail last year. And he also has very interesting points in the way he sees life. I will say he's the guy that I feel more identified with because he's like my characteristics, like more calm. I would say more like less loud as a brother, but however, I think he has very good points that we should review together. Basically, about mindset. So I divide it in three. It's mindset, is dating advice. I think his point of view is very valid, and also fashion advice, which is something I'm also very interested in. How to dress, not necessarily to impress, but how to dress to be taken seriously, because that's very important as a man, I think. So about mindset, the things he's speaking in the podcast, basically what he says is that brotherhood as a whole is the most important thing. It puts you in a very good position, in a winning position, I will say, because he says that nowadays, society has become more and more individualistic, like everybody is on their own, and not like in the past where we will have bigger families and the families will act as a group, as a unit. What happens now is that because you are individualistic and you only think about yourself, and for example, not you don't see your best friend or your brother or your sister as part of your team, then you're on your own, and in any money that you make, it's just for you, and it's only what you have when you have managed to create, to produce. And what he says is, what he did is to basically have joint bank accounts with his brother Andrew Tate. In that way, there are two men producing, and they're combining their efforts. So by doing this, they have a bigger amount of money available, and they can invest in bigger projects together. The key of this is trust. To find someone that you trust that you can do this with. He chose his brother because who else? Okay, now we know that there are many shitty brothers, many shitty sisters, but if we are lucky enough to have ones that we can trust in, I think this is a very valid strategy to join someone else, join forces together, and work for the same common goal. Because nowadays, and not fool, let's not fool ourselves, with inflation, with everything what's happening now, it's more and more difficult to make it if you are working on it alone by yourself. Having someone else or having a group of close friends that you know that they are not going to betray you is a very intelligent strategy, because you're just putting the effort and the time and the production of all the parts, and combining it, and putting it to work as one big unit, strong unit. This will bring much greater results. Just as an example, imagine you invest in cryptocurrency and you only invest what you can afford to lose. Maybe it's a small amount of money. Imagine it blows up, and you make some money, but you didn't make so much money because you only invested a small amount of your net worth, of what you were actually allowing it to get lost in case it didn't blow up. Imagine if you combine that with your 4 or 5 most trusted friends, and all of you put just an amount. That will be a much bigger amount. That will amount to the growth will be multiplied, and then you can just do it again, and then share the results, share the profits. It's something much more intelligent than just putting the few money that you can afford to lose. That's what he says. Also, One of the key points of this is don't betray your team, because with every action there is a reaction. He was basically by his brother's side, even in jail, and something that really impacted me, and okay, I remember this very clearly, is when he says that when he was being interviewed by television and by journalists, like, hey Tristan, like, you're in jail, like, how are you dealing with the mind? Because of course it's not easy to be in jail. You're basically private of your liberty. What he said is that my body might be in jail, but my mind is free. And that really resonated with him, because okay, he says that his body was in jail physically, of course. He was in the bed of the jail cell or whatever, but his mind was thinking. His mind was not in that place. His mind was maybe traveling somewhere else. His mind was thinking about new business opportunities. His mind was just wandering in the world, was not in that place. And I think that's a very nice strategy and a very good approach to difficult situations that we might find ourselves into. Now, going to the dating advice, because I think this is where he shines, because the guy is my size. It's like 193, 194. The guy is jacked and is rich. It knows how to dress. So he has a lot of positive things and he always says, like, I'm like the playboy part of the Tate brothers. However, he says that these features alone, or these features combined, only like the physical, the outside part, does not really imply that you're gonna be appreciated or you're gonna have success with girls. He actually advocates for more traditional values that I would say they have been more and more lost in the last years. For example, chivalry. Opening the door for the girls. If you're on a date with your girl, open the door, close the door after her, pull a chair so she can sit. Those things, they have been getting lost. And my mother, for example, personally, my mother always told me to be chivalrous and open the door for the girl and pull the chair when she's gonna sit, to lead, the girl if you're entering a restaurant or a club. Those are signs of a gentleman that girls, how say, they value, but they don't want to say it. But when you do it, you make a lot of positive points. So be a gentleman. Open the door, as I said, brings flowers from time to time. Girl loves flowers for some reason. However, what he says, and it's very, very critical, is that there has to be equal exchange of value. It has to be equal, because the point that happens that you are just giving, showing the chivalrous behaviors, and you're bringing the flowers, and you're taking her out to dinner, and doing, and she does not reciprocate those efforts of you. That's when he says simping occurs. And what is simping is basically that you're giving more than what you receive, that the exchange of value is not fair, that the relationship is one-sided. She's getting all the benefits and you're not getting what you want. And we know what you want, So he says that he's not a simp, even though he does so many things for girls and gives them experiences and I say not money, but like uses his money to go to nice restaurants, nice dates and whatever. But he says, I'm not simping because I get my value back, in what the girl can offer. Yeah, the girls can offer value back in many different kinds of actions. Not necessarily paying us back, I think the guys should pay, or at least be prepared to pay when they go out with a girl. And always have mutual respect. Mutual respect meaning respect her and also respect you. Have boundaries. When you feel like you're not getting enough value in return, say, hey, this is not working, let's better leave it here. And not fall into simping behaviors. The key point is that he says there is no dating advice. I just can give you some guidelines to follow, but there is no, how you say, magic spell, magic phrase that you can say to a girl and she will fall in love with you. That does not exist, and I can only agree with that. He says nothing that you say will change her mind. She makes her own first impression of you, and you have to create that positive first impression by working on yourself, getting better shape, um, grooming better, taking care of your appearance, of the clothes, the quality of clothes that you wear, that you smell good, that you took a shower, you brush your teeth. All those things, a combination of things of working on yourself that will make you able to attract, not to chase. Because when you chase, that's when the problem comes most of the times. But when you attract, the girls will recognize your value and will give you a way easier time. And I can assure from my own experience that this is true. It's much better to attract than to be chasing. Chasing is weak. All right? Finally, fashion advice from Mr. Tristan Tate. He says the number one fashion advice, the most important fashion advice that he gives you is to get in shape. Getting in shape trumps any fashion trend, any piece of clothing that you might think that it's gonna, I don't know, make you look good. Because if you are in shape, literally, guys, and I can also ensure you this by personal experience. Any piece of clothing that you buy, if it fits you well and you are in shape, you're gonna look good. Doesn't matter if it's from H&M, doesn't matter if it's from Uniqlo or just a basic T-shirt of €5 or $5 or whatever. It's gonna look better than if you were wearing a Gucci T-shirt or Armani, but you are fat. It looks so much better when you are in shape. So you have to take this in consideration. This is the number one fashion advice that he gives, and that is for me 100%. I agree 100%. There's nothing that trumps, nothing that will trump any other fashion advice than to be in shape, to look healthy. Because people, and this is something that I've been hearing from my family, from school, from everywhere, all my life, is people treat you the way they see you. The way you look, the way your appearance, you're gonna be treated, judged on that. And if you say that's unfair, you don't like it, well, bad luck. That's how the world works. If you look like homeless because you're wearing baggy clothes and dirty shoes, whatever, people are gonna treat you like you were homeless. If you are broke, but you dress good in good clothes, and you take care of your body, you're in shape, people are gonna treat you like you mean some business, even though that you might not have the amount of money in the bank. So give the right impression. He says, I want to give you two scenarios. One scenario, you are tall and you're handsome. And the other scenario, you are short and you're ugly. He says, in both scenarios, you have to do the same things. You have to get in shape, try to be successful, try to be charismatic, well-dressed, educated, have manners. Those things work for any guy. Doesn't matter if you are tall and handsome or you are fat, short and ugly. You have to, don't be fat. If you're short and ugly, those are things that we cannot change. Like how handsome or ugly is our face. Okay, we can make some modifications, we can make some improvements, but okay, let's start from the basis that we cannot change our height, and we cannot change how handsome or ugly we are. Both parties, both types of persons have to make the same efforts to get in shape, to be successful, charismatic, well-dressed, educated, have manners, etc. It's the same game. And those two situations should not, I say prevent us from trying to become the best we can become. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. The part 2 of the Tate Brothers analysis. I said already, maybe you hate them, you love them, whatever. I try to look beyond the evidence, and I've listened to their podcasts, many hours of podcasts, and I can say that these are, I'll say, true, well-intentioned advices for young men and men in general. So I recommend you go back into this video, take some notes, and paste this in your fridge or whatever, have them by your nightstand. But these are rules that you have to live your life by, because these apply to anybody. All right, guys, take care, and it will help me a lot if you can subscribe to the channel. It will help me grow, of course. If you can leave a like or a comment, whatever, try to engage. This is the first YouTube channel that I'm creating, and I want to put more effort here and become more constant. But yeah, the algorithm needs some feedback, otherwise I get sent to the bottom of the pit. All right, take care, thank you, and have a good night. Bye bye.